This is the number one request I get from MSLs. Nandini, AI has helped me so much both in my personal and professional life, but how do I take it to the next level? Today, I'm going to show you how to move beyond the basic prompt to developing AI solutions that will save you hundreds of hours, as it has done for me. I'm Nandini Sabrawal, an MSL turned AI enthusiast, and this is the Medical Affairs Lab. In this mini-series, Prompt to Practice, AI Skills for Field Medical, I'll show you how to go from AI beginner to building custom solutions that will get buy-in from your team and ultimately your leadership. I'll show you the exact framework that I use to build solutions using generative AI. Let's look at a real life scenario. Picture this. It's Tuesday evening and tomorrow morning you're meeting with Dr. Chen and her group. You still have to review a new publication on aisle 23, 2 Congress posters, and phase 3 clinical data. Now, you can spend 2 hours manually reviewing all the information, connecting all the points, and developing a cohesive story, or you can teach AI to do the heavy lifting for you. Now, this particular task is very time consuming. It's a task that is highly repetitive and requires a lot of cognitive load. Most of the time we're staring at the data and we're thinking, what is a compelling story here? Before we open ChatGPT or Claude, we need to take a step back and do some design thinking. AI won't help us solve every problem, so we need to think, where can AI actually help us? Here is a great start. Think of tasks that are highly repetitive, you do them often, or tasks that have a high cognitive load. They take up a lot of mental energy. For MSLs, this is a very common scenario. It's storytelling. How to take a scientific narrative and create a story that resonates with the healthcare providers. Now on to the fun stuff. I'm using the Claude language model. You can also use ChatGPT as well, or a language model of your choice. I have a preference for Claude because I like its thinking capability when I'm working on my projects. Here's a secret. You don't need to write prompts on your own. You can ask the language model to do that for you. You do, however, need to understand a detailed, structured set of instructions. Why? Because what we do in medical affairs and as MSLs is complex, and we have to break down that complex workflow into structured set of instructions. And in this scenario, with our meeting preparation and storytelling for Dr. Chen and her pediatric group, that is exactly what we need to do. Watch how this works. In the Claude Chat window, I am going to tell it exactly what I'm working on. I will enter it here. I'll read the scenario to you. I need help brainstorming scientific discussion scenarios for an upcoming ATP meeting. Your task is to help me transform scientific information into a patient journey story, explore how different ATP personas might react to the content, similar to an ad board style, and connect to the data patient populations. Transform these set of instructions into a structured prompt. Let's see what Claude has given us. It has assigned itself the main objective is transforming scientific information into patient journey narratives and exploring multi-perspective ATP responses. I will go down a set of core tasks. It does a patient journey transformation, and this is how it states how it's going to do that. The other core task is ATP persona analysis. It lists some of the most common ATP personas. And so this is okay for a draft prompt. This is where our subject matter expertise comes into play. So say I want to tell my story, my narrative in a particular format. What I'll do is do some further research on it. I'll open up a new chat window. I will tell it what are the top 5 storytelling format for scientific narratives. Here it's giving us the mystery or detective story, the hero's journey, the problem solution arc, the zoom lens, the parallel narrative. I'm more familiar with telling stories with the problem solution arc, so I will take this section here and incorporate that into the my original chat that I had with Claude and ask it to make the modifications. And here's what I would say. Let's make some modifications to the prompt. For the patient journey story section, use the storytelling format of setup, the unmet need, problem, resolution, which is the solution or the patient impact, and provide at least 3 patient stories. And it's going to take my feedback and incorporate that into the prompt. So I'm going to scroll down, and here you can see for the output structure, the patient journey stories, it's setting it up for, I told it to give me at least 3 different versions of the story. Here's story 1 with the setup, the problem, and the resolution, and it follows the same format for the subsequent stories. Now, if this is the process of doing refinement or iteration to the prompt in order to get the type of response or the output that you want. You'll have to keep making modifications to the prompts. Now, it doesn't have to be something like major, but little tweaks in here certainly helps. For example, say that, for now I don't want to work on the patient connection sections. I can just delete that. When I get to the prompt that I like, I will copy the entire prompt and I will save that. Now, we're going to use it. I will upload the content that I wanted to digest. That could be, PowerPoint presentation deck, phase 3 data, a publication. Okay. My file for this scenario, it's an atopic dermatitis in an evolving pharmacologic landscape. This is, for example, what I plan on discussing with Dr. Chin and her group. In the chat window, here's going to be my instructions. Using the prompt below, give me 3 patient stories and discussion scenario based on the attached data with a focus on upadacitinib. And I have pasted the prompt that we had worked on right below that. And let's see what Claude gives us. Here are the patient journey stories. This is story 1, Marcus, the young professional seeking rapid relief of his atopic dermatitis. It gives a little bit about his history. And it has, given a paragraph. He's tried multiple topical corticosteroids, topical calcineurin inhibitors, and, despite aggressive therapy for 6 months, his condition is still poorly managed, and it goes on. So you can see how this is the setup part that it's doing. It has given you the problem part, the challenge, and the resolution. And you can see it's incorporating some of the clinical data. So, for example, for rapid itch relief as an endpoint, by week 4, he's achieved 4 or greater point improvement in the worst pruritus and RNRS scale. I'm going to scroll a little bit down, and I want to see how. So this was our patient journey section. We also had the HCP persona response, and here it's giving me, some type of, for the academic dermatologist or KOL, these are the questions they might have here. It's giving me some clinical application insights, which are questions that I could, I can center my questions around this. And it's just, for me, it is, a game changer. Just being able to read this, digest it a lot more rapidly, and helps me understand and prepare for objection handling. This is what makes a defined set of instructions, this level of prompt, so powerful. If I had initially just uploaded the content to the chat window and I said, give me 3 patient discussion scenarios or 3 journey stories, it would have given me a very generic answer, very different from the one that I'm showing you right now. So what would have taken me, 1 hour, I still need to read the content, but the second hour that I'm dedicating to really understanding and transforming the data into a story, it's helping me reduce that time down to 20 minutes, which for me is a game changer. I hope you found that helpful. I think it's always valuable to see these things in action. Now, here's your homework. And I strongly encourage you to do this because the only way you're going to learn AI is by doing it. So, pick one task that is high frequency or of high cognitive load. It doesn't have to be something work related. Think of something in your personal life. The best way to learn AI is by starting out with something fun. Now, once you've decided that, ask AI to help you build a prompt, refine it, make modifications to it. If you want some ideas, think of your workflow for insight generation, objection handling, advisory board preparation, or preparing for a customer meeting. And break down those workflows and then take a look at where AI can help you save hours or help you eliminate some of that manual work. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how to turn a prompt into a reusable agent, one that will learn your preferences and will get better over time. Drop your pain points in the comment below. I'm reading all of them and will address them in future episodes. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next episode.